It wasn't until Donald Trump put his DOJ in charge that Epstein was actually arrested, right? Epstein was arrested under Donald Trump. Epstein
doesn't that hurt? Yeah, so if he was arrested under Donald Trump,
yes,
put into jail,
yes,
and then died in prison, in a federal prison,
yes,
and now, so how would Biden even have the chance to destroy any files? Seems like this is all under Donald Trump's super.
Yes. I really have to listen to the full video because just this one clip between this guy and Destiny, this is a frustrating conversation to listen to.
How do we feel about
if Misfit has time, then we can.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
okay, let's limit it to like 5-ish minutes. But
well, yeah,
I'm just curious. It seems like the Epstein thing is a pretty big fumble.
Yeah, Pam Bondi should be fired.
Do you think he's going to fire her?
No.
But why not?
Just Pam Bondi. So Pam Bondi doesn't take orders from anyone. She's just a rogue on her own.
Well, here's the thing about the Epstein files, the whole situation with the Epstein files, right?
It's kind of interesting because all the information that you currently have on Trump, input Biden into that category now. Let's say it was Biden and Epstein that were hanging out all the time. Let's say it was Biden that Epstein said, I have all of his contacts. Let's say it was also Biden that when they asked him, hey, have you ever hung out in the presence of younger women around Joe Biden? And Epstein then pleads the 5th, 6th, and 14th? Does anyone seriously think they would be this charitable? They would say, no, you can't have a pedo in the office. However, no one would ever just declare that it's only Merrick Garland that needs to be fired.
The thing about the Epstein files, the whole situation with the Epstein files, right? None of it's really an indictment against Trump other than situation should be fired.
Do you think he's going to fire her?
No.
Minutes, but
well, yeah,
I'm just curious. It seems like the Epstein thing is a pretty big fumble.
Yeah, Pam Bondi should be fired.
Do you think he's going to fire her?
No. But
why not?
Well, here's the thing about the Epstein files, the whole situation with the Epstein files, right? None of it's really an indictment against Trump other than he definitely hired the wrong person for Attorney General because she spent her time lying to the American people about how there was this big bombshell that didn't exist. And now that there's a big nothing burger, it's a bad reflection on Trump. So she should be fired on that alone.
What about the evidence that the FBI was like pointing out like where Donald Trump is coming up in the Epstein files and then filtering that information up to Pam Bondi?
Everyone knew Donald Trump was in the Epstein files, and he knew that when he was releasing them.
Okay, so don't you think
So isn't it kind of weird that he had the Epstein files first?
2019?
So Donald Trump destroyed them, but not Biden or Obama or Bush. So Donald Trump was president for like 4 out of the 18 years that Epstein was there that I believe was already destroyed. And I don't think that anybody on your side has any credible argument for the Epstein files when Biden had 4 years to release the Epstein files.
Wait, why didn't...
Wait, hold on. Something's not adding up because... Did they raid his house the first time he was ever arrested? Because remember, he was convicted and received a 13-month sentence after he pled out. After Alex Acosta worked his magic and he magically got him a plea deal. That was in 2008. Now, he was supposed to spend 6 days outside of jail and then 1 day in jail. What kind of plea deal you do to get that is beyond me. Him spending that much time at his house, he still had all his possessions. He still had all his alleged evidence or whatnot, or videos or whatever it is that they accuse him of having. The only time that there was ever any record of a raid would have happened under Trump. They raided his house. They raided his private island. They got everything. If there was videos, they got it. If there was a log, they got it. If there was information about anyone within power, they got it. Hence, the birth of the real Epstein files gained popularity in 2019. It was birthed way back when he was still collecting information, if he did. This is when everyone really started to focus on it because now we have to ask, so the police raided his house. What did they find? If there's video, what was on the video? Prior to that, he was spending time at home. His conviction meant nothing. Alex Acosta got him off. So in short, what that means is any information that could have been tampered with, it only could have been tampered with under one president, not the other ones prior. Destiny, please catch him on that.
Maybe I don't think that anybody on your side has any credible argument for the Epstein files when Biden had 4 years to release the Epstein files.
Wait, why didn't maybe Donald Trump destroyed them all?
When
Epstein died, when he was president of the United States in 2019?
Yes.
So Donald Trump destroyed them, but not Biden or Obama or Bush. So Donald Trump was president for like 4 out of the 18 years that Epstein was under indictment, investigation, and eventually arrested. It wasn't until Donald Trump under indictment, investigation, and eventually arrested. It wasn't until Donald Trump put his DOJ in charge that Epstein was actually arrested, right? Epstein was arrested under Donald Trump. Epstein
doesn't that hurt? Yeah, so if he was arrested under Donald Trump,
yes,
put into jail,
yes,
and then died in prison, in a federal prison,
yes,
and now, so how would Biden even have the chance to destroy any files? Seems like this is all under Donald Trump's
yes
supervision. Maybe Donald Trump was protecting himself.
I mean, he did die in.
The Justice Department made it very clear that Trump's name is all over the Epstein files. If his name is all over the Epstein files, even to this day, imagine how much it was before in 2019. Do you think his own Justice Department didn't have access to the Epstein files? They got a first-hand look at everything, unredacted. So if anyone has the opportunity to tamper with anything, you would have to make the claim that it was the person that got to the information first.
Supervision. Maybe Donald Trump was protecting himself.
I mean, he did die in 2019, and that was close to when Donald Trump was on his way out, and he was kind of busy with that whole COVID thing.
It was 2 years after.
Well, COVID, I mean, like I said, Epstein died in 2019. And then, so that would give about a year and change where Trump probably could have looked into it more, but I don't think it was at the top of his list of priorities. I think he was running the country.
Do you think there's like a big incentive for Trump to hide that maybe because he's in the files?
Wait, no. Donald Trump is the only person that cooperated with the DOJ and testified against Jeffrey Epstein. Donald Trump kicked out Jeffrey Epstein from his club in Mar-a-Lago.
I'm not 100% sure on how true that statement is, but okay.
30 years ago, and has no contact with him
after he knew that Epstein was stealing employees there to go bring to his own place. Yeah, he let him take one, and then he brought him back. And after the second one, he's like, "Okay, now you're gone."
No, he knew he was stealing employees. He didn't know that he was a sex trafficker.
Oh, that's crazy. Because then why did he fire him?
He was at the man's wedding. They partied together. The first time he slept with his now wife was on his plane. He makes a statement that he likes women, but he likes them on the younger side. Does younger always mean over 18? If he's saying that, hey, he likes them on the younger side, based on the guy you're speaking about, is that not at the very least an odd thing to say about a known pedophile?
After he took the second employee, after he's literally saying on record that like everybody knows that he likes young women and everything.
Yeah, like I think he meant young, like 18, 19. I don't think he knew that the guy was well, I know he didn't know he was a sex trafficker because he's been investigated ad nauseum. Jeffrey Epstein's own victims said they never saw Donald Trump with Jeffrey Epstein. They never saw Donald Trump do anything improper with Jeffrey Epstein. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files as a guy who cooperated with the DOJ against Jeffrey Epstein, and he was listed on the plane along with Ivanka.
If Trump knew that he was such a bad guy, why did Trump make Acosta his labor secretary when Acosta was the prosecutor that cut that sweetheart deal for Epstein in 2001 or whatever?
2008.
I don't know. I can't answer that. I have no idea.
Okay. And then the FBI said that like, you know, we go ahead and noted all the places where he was in the files, and then the DOJ decides not to have anything.
Hold on. Let's use your own logic that you're applying to Donald Trump against Joe Biden and against Barack Obama. Joe Biden and Barack Obama are very.
You know what this reminds me of? This specific debate reminds me of something. There's a Destiny debate, like a long time ago, against this guy named John Tron, something like that. This reminds me of that.
Very good friends with the Clintons, and Bill Clinton was on the Epstein plane 27 times. He was on the island. There was a painting of Bill Clinton in a blue dress and red high heels in the fucking building where they were.
That's true. We'll grant him that one. That is true. This is a hilarious picture. Oh man, what a perv. Let me make this very clear. Nobody's defending Bill Clinton, so you could see that point. I get it that Destiny might not want to, but you could definitely see that point and not lose ground in this debate.
A blue dress and red high heels in the fucking building where they were fucking kids. So you can put two and two together and create Donald Trump's a pedophile, but you can't even fucking remotely entertain the idea that Biden or Obama, who had way more time, could have destroyed evidence to protect their fucking social circle. Like, I mean, come on, dude.
No, I don't think that makes any sense. That none of them had.
How?
Well, you said it yourself that Epstein didn't end up being arrested until under Trump's administration. We know that Epstein is on like recording saying that he was best friends with Donald Trump for 10 years. You know that if that same recording existed for him saying he was the best friends with the Clintons or the Obamas, you guys would be losing your mind over. But because it was with Trump, nobody cares about.
When they asked Epstein specifically, do you have a relationship with Donald Trump? He hesitantly said, yes, I do, right? Then when he asked him, have you been in the presence of Donald Trump with women or girls that are underage? What did he do? He pleaded 5th, 6th, and 14th. Yeah, this clip right here.
Have you ever had a personal relationship with Donald Trump?
What do you mean by personal relationships?
Have you socialized with him?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever socialized with Donald Trump in the presence of females under the age of 18?
Though I'd like to answer that question, at least today, I'm going to have to assert my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment rights, sir.
Exactly. What are you hiding? You must be guilty.
Just for him saying he was the best friends with the Clintons or the Obamas, you guys would be losing your mind over. But because it was with Trump, nobody cares about it.
They were friends in the 90s. They were friends in the 90s. Jeffrey Epstein was arrested in 2000 and was it 4? I think it was.
So you think that he just started all of it and got arrested immediately?
No, he got arrested for having an underage hooker. I believe it was 2004. That was under Bush, right? So you had Bush who arrested.
Yeah, but everybody knew that he liked young girls before then. Trump and everybody else had said that. Trump even sent him a birthday card. It was in that thing that got published recently that he got really mad about it. That he's suing the Wall Street Journal for.
The thing that's completely fucking made up. He wrote on like a pubic area. Do you have any idea how ridiculous? Let's not go down that rabbit hole.
You think that whole story is fake?
Yes, that's why he's suing them.
You think that if you sue somebody, it means you're okay? Interesting.
I mean, it doesn't make sense on its face. It's basically like this probably would have come up in the decades-long investigations. It just conveniently comes up now that there was this magical birthday card that shows up right as the Epstein files are.
What about when Donald Trump on video is wishing Ghislaine well, even though he knows that she's in prison or whatever, and he's like, "Well, her husband died, and I wish her well. I wish her well."
I think that's just a saying, but either way, right? Hold on.
No, it's not. His friend just went to jail, so of course he's gonna wish her well. He knows her.
It's a saying.
No. Let's not do the thing where you pivot and try.
I'm not pivoting. I'm saying there's a lot of connections between Trump and Epstein. Yeah.
Let's go back. You said there's a lot of connections to Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have told you the connections to Donald Trump ceased in the 1990s. Bill Clinton was on the Lolita Express 27 times, and there is a painting.
Okay, so let's make sure we actually have a proper working timeline here. In 2005, police opened a criminal investigation into Epstein in Palm Beach, Florida, after a 14-year-old girl's parents say he paid her for a massage. Police gathered more allegations for underage girls who say he sexually abused them at his mansion in encounters that often began as massages. Federal prosecutors later said the abuse began as early as 2002. July 19th, this is 2006, a Palm Beach County grand jury indicts Epstein on one state felony charge of solicitation of prostitution, but the Palm Beach Police Department's chief and lead detective then referred the case to a nearby FBI office, saying the charge doesn't reflect the totality of Epstein's conduct according to the Justice Department's review of the case. 2007, an assistant U.S. attorney who has been working with 2 FBI agents to find more victims submits a draft indictment, 60 criminal counts against Epstein, along with a memo summarizing the evidence assembled against him. And then, of course, he gets his plea in 2008. 2009, Epstein's released after serving less than 13 months. This didn't spark back up until about 2017. Guess who's in office? Maxwell settles Guthrie's lawsuit, a matter on which Epstein had repeatedly sought to avoid testifying, but journalist Julie K. Brown and the Miami Herald later filed motions to unseal records from the case. This is partially one of the births of the Epstein files now, citing the public right of access and its coverage of the abuse of dozens of underage minors. Then 2018 and 2019, federal agents arrest Epstein. So no, the arrest didn't originally happen in 2004 or 5. The allegations began around that period of time. And then prosecutors started looking into the case even more.
On the Lolita Express 27 times. And there is a painting of Bill Clinton in a blue dress with red high heels on that has been authenticated and verified by the Department of Justice. They found a painting of Bill Clinton which looks like a portrait that he posed.
I think we can all agree that Bill Clinton was a massive perv. Like, people on the left are not going to argue with that.
I don't even know, where is this painting?
You haven't heard of this? I mean, go you can look it up. Look up Bill Clinton blue dress painting. It's real, by the way. So Bill Clinton, who is friends with Jeffrey Epstein after the 90s, on the Lolita Express at the island, where they had sex with young children. And there's way more of a connection. So applying your Trump logic of, just a connection is apparently enough to jump to the conclusion that he's, presumably you think he's doing nefarious activities, then you would have to apply that logic to Bill Clinton, which would also incentivize Joe Biden and Barack Obama, and honestly, George Bush too, because they're all buddies, to destroy.
Wait, where do you think
evidence
this
as opposed to
painting?
Donald Trump.
Where do you think this painting came from?
That came from the island. That was
don't
in
focus on the
Jeffrey
painting.
Epstein's.
Yeah, but who commissioned the painting? Where did it come from?
I can't remember.
So,
but
it was
they
some
found-
random Australian artist painted this painting because she thought it was funny, making fun of Bill, and then apparently Epstein bought it and he showed it at his island. This wasn't made for Epstein. It wasn't made by Epstein, and it wasn't
so Epstein was such good friends with Bill Clinton that he bought that painting, brought it to the island so that he could show Bill Clinton and have a laugh.
Or it's just a funny painting because it's a painting of Bill Clinton in a dress on a chair pointing at somebody.
Okay, so
It is actually a funny painting.
Jeffrey Epstein was such good friends with Bill Clinton that he
What,
bought that
couldn't you
painting
just buy this to make fun of somebody? Why would you have to be really good friends to buy a painting like this?
Because they were good friends. He was on the Lolita Express 27
We don't
times.
have.
He
We've
was
got.
at the island.
Wait, you acknowledge there's more evidence that Epstein was good friends with Trump than he was with Bill Clinton? No.
Absolutely, there's 100% more evidence that he was better friends with Donald Trump than he was with anyone else, or Bill Clinton, or Bush, or Obama, or whoever else. Maybe P. Diddy, but birds of a feather.
No, I would not acknowledge that. I would say that that Bill Clinton was friends with Epstein at the height of his proclivities.
So in
opposed to Donald Trump.
2002, Trump told New York Magazine that Epstein was a terrific guy. That was in 2002.
Which was 2 years before anyone knew that he was a fucking pedophile.
Oh, okay. I thought that there were statements of Trump and everybody saying that they knew that he liked young girls and was kind of weird, but
I think that maybe if there is a quote, young girl, I could say about my friend that he likes young girls, and I'm
Is he
referring
serious?
to 20-year-olds, right? I could be my buddy Paul, he likes young girls.
Given who Epstein is, though, saying he likes young girls might also mean that he likes young girls underage. The underage category of young girls. This is Epstein we're talking about, and we're not talking about your buddy Paul.
Right? I'm not talking about children. But
Okay.
I'm not, and
it's
that's
a lot
I'm
of
just
charity,
saying,
but okay, yeah.
it might be a little bit of charity, but I think that you're maybe jumping to a conclusion that has another explanation. But either way, okay, so let me pin you down on this, right? The connection of Jeffrey Epstein with Bill Clinton, and there's allegedly the other associates. There's if you go through the Epstein files, part 1, the binder files, whatever. I think that it's not a reasonable, or I think it's not arguing in good faith to say every single person that was ever on that plane was a pedophile, right? I think that's a ridiculous statement, right?
An
However,
interesting way to explain things away.
when you're on the plane 27 times,
I hear his point where he says that just because you're on the plane doesn't necessarily mean you did anything. Epstein had people in his hotels. He had people in his mansion. He had people in his Florida home. He had a home in New York. He had homes everywhere.
and you're on the island itself, and there's a painting of you in a dress in the building where they were doing the fucking shady shit with the kids. I think that's more of a connection than a guy who.
When was the
kicked
last
you-
time Bill Clinton met with Epstein?
I think it was in the 2000s.
2002 is when Epstein apparently met Bill Clinton for the last time. So that was the same time that Donald Trump said he was a terrific guy. You said in 2002 nobody knew yet. So why would Bill Clinton have known, but Donald Trump wouldn't have?
So I don't know. You might have a good point
good
there.
question, right?
Where are you getting that Clinton's last?
I'm seeing
connection
Bill
with
Clinton
Epstein?
took 4 trips with staff on Epstein's private plane in 2002 and 2003, and then met with Epstein in New York in 2002.
There was 27. He was on there's 27.
Citing flight logs, U.S.
flight
media
logs.
have reported Clinton flew on Epstein's jet up to 26 times, occasionally without his Secret Service detail. Yeah, but that's just on his plane. That's not even saying he was on there, and it doesn't say
Okay,
anything
wait,
about him
hold
going
on.
to his island.
Yeah. No. I think you'd have to go and look at the files, but I'm pretty sure that there is confirmation that he was on the island. All
Yeah,
right,
I
but
think he's
let's
been on
just-
the island, but I'm saying that he didn't take 26 or 27 trips to the island.
No, but even one. Donald Trump was never on the island. Donald Trump took the plane back and forth from Florida to New York a couple times, right? So he.
Again, everyone could see the fact that Bill Clinton is kind of a perv. He should probably be locked up. Honestly, he really should.
Never went to the island. Clinton went to the island where the painting of Bill Clinton was. Like I'm saying,
If all of this is true, then why wouldn't Donald Trump then just release all of the Epstein files for us to go through? If all of this is true, there's evidence of all of this.
Because he's in it as well.
I just told you, Donald Trump only had control of the Epstein files if he was paying attention for 4 years, and I don't think he was. But I think that what he did do was indict and arrest Jeffrey Epstein, which neither George Bush did actually, which neither Barack Obama or Joe Biden did. Right? So by your
no, that's actually a really bad argument. The reason why that's a bad argument is because the biggest scandal started in 2019, August of 2019. Epstein takes his life. This is now where everyone starts to ask the question, all right, so we have this guy that is about to name names. He's about to name all the Democrats' names, and Trump is going to shut this whole thing down and really, really going to start the process of draining the swamp. He then dies under Trump's watch. Now, people start asking, well, was it the Clintons? Was it the Obamas? Was it some celebrities? Who got to this guy? That whole conspiracy, it's kind of like The Simpsons, who shot Mr. Burns. But that whole conspiracy of who took this guy out began at that period of time. So you're really saying that Trump had no interest into looking into the biggest scandal possibly in pedophilia history, and he just kind of, let it slip?
Your own logic, right? What I'm telling you is you have a stronger connection with Bill Clinton, right? Which would, by your own logic, lead to some nefarious intent.
I don't know what you're saying by my logic. That's just not the case.
Well, your logic is Donald Trump was friends with Jeffrey Epstein.
And
right?
knew that he was visiting his properties and knew that he was taking teenage workers and hiring them for himself. And then Epstein said that he was best friends with Donald Trump for 10 years.
And that was back in the 1990s, okay?
Sure, and Donald Trump made Acosta, the guy that cut the sweetheart deal with Epstein, the prosecutor, he made him his Department of Labor secretary from 2017 to 2019. Just seems like a lot of weird connections, yeah.
Yeah, maybe he just didn't make the connection. Maybe he just hired Acosta. But either way, what I'm saying is, your logic is you're alluding to nefarious intent because of a connection. So the only thing I did was
to be clear, I'm not alluding to. You can be connected. I'll be honest. Like a lot of people, I'm sure, were connected with this guy because he was wealthy. But I'm just saying that the fact that Donald Trump has gone out of his way to have the FBI mark his involvement with Epstein, and then he's saying that they're not going to release anything about it. Now suddenly he's acting surprised. Everybody's so mad about it. He's saying, I don't know why we're even talking about the Epstein thing. It seems kind of weird.
This is what I'm saying. I'm using your own logic. Your own logic is, you said Trump is all over the Epstein files. I clarified to you, he's only in the Epstein files a couple of times. One, where he testified against Jeffrey Epstein. He was one of the people that put Jeffrey Epstein in jail. Bill Clinton didn't testify, right? But none of the other associates testified. Donald Trump was the only person that came out and testified against Jeffrey Epstein. So there's that.
When did he testify against Epstein? What is this about? Which arrest?
It was, I believe it was after the 2004 arrest. I believe it was after the underage prostitute. So
you said he testified in that criminal proceeding?
He testified again, I believe he gave a statement to the authorities. He might not have actually testified.
I just checked it. No, there was no testimony.
He gave testimony. I'm sorry. He gave testimony. He did not testify. And that's confirmed by the DOJ. The DOJ is.
Gave testimony where? For what? I don't think this happened ever. I don't think he ever was interviewed or deposed or gave any statements about Epstein to any.
He did. I guarantee it. I am 1,000% sure on this. So. But Donald Trump is in the Epstein files as I'm sorry. When I said testify, it sounded like I meant in court. He was interviewed by the DOJ, and this is all public record. You can actually look up the testimony. He talks to the DOJ when they were investigating him.
I don't think this ever happened.
Oh, I guarantee you it did.
Okay. Nope. Nobody else has
found
anything.
ChatGPT and says that.
Okay. Right now, from the Hill, President Trump. Oh, sorry. This is a new article. My bad. Epstein grand jury testimony only contains two. Again, a new fucking story. He's just all over.
That's right. You said you were critically analyzing media, and you can see through the bullshit. So.
Yeah.
What? I really have to watch this full debate.
Trump gives interview. Try interview.
I'll double search.
he was interviewed by the timeline of Trump and Epstein's relationship.
Actually, that's what I searched originally. Was Trump interviewed by the DOJ about Epstein? It says there's no credible evidence or credible reporting indicating Donald Trump was interviewed by the Department of Justice concerning Jeffrey Epstein.
He absolutely was. I'm not even guessing on this. I'm not misremembering.
I think what you're thinking is because the DOJ interviewed Ghislaine Maxwell.
No. I think it was the FBI.
Let me give you a few minutes to look this up, and then let's go to closing statements.
Sure. Well, anyway, all right. Let's yeah, because we'll be here for it. I can't believe. Yes, Donald Trump agreed to participate. And this is from NBC News and Politico. Yes, Donald Trump agreed to participate in an interview with the FBI regarding. Oh, this is fucking fuck you. This is regarding the assassination attempt against him. Fucker. Up against Epstein. Okay. Regardless, I guess in order to move on, so we're not sitting here Googling shit. Assume it's true because it is.
No.
But all right, fine. You know what? Assume it's not true. Assume it's not true. Just go with my original point. The connection of Bill Clinton is just as strong as the connection of Donald Trump. So my argument against you, which is essentially using your own argument against yourself, is that if you're going to say that incentive to delete evidence is because Trump is in the Epstein files, I'm telling you Bill Clinton is also in the Epstein files, right?
But if Bill Clinton and all them were incentivized to hide this, then Obama probably would have just deleted everything relating to Epstein, and so they never could have arrested him. And
well, that's what I'm saying. Well, he was arrested under Bush, right? So he was arrested under two Republicans, no Democrats.
Okay.
Right? He was
given, but people say he was given a sweetheart deal under Bush, didn't they?
He was, and I'm not. That's what I'm saying. That's why I kind of did that tongue in cheek. So
was it also tongue in cheek when Trump arrested him?
No, what I'm saying is your logic is Trump. You said Trump.
You keep saying my logic, but you're not citing why I'm saying they have a close connection. There's no Epstein phone call saying he was personal best friends with Bill Clinton or Barack Obama or anybody else for 10 years, right?
Yeah, but Donald Trump, you're talking about 30 years ago, right? Or now it's more like 30.
I don't think Epstein became a pedophile when he turned like 58. I don't think he just like transformed into that.
Yes, but you would have to make a leap from the only evidence you have. With the only connection you have was Donald Trump used to be friends with Jeffrey Epstein, who's friends with a lot of people, right? These rich people are friends with a lot of other rich people, and they're all in the same little social circles. Doesn't mean they know what's going on in their personal life. But then Jeffrey Epstein was stealing girls from Donald Trump's employment, and Donald Trump kicked him out and cut ties with him. And then after Jeffrey Epstein was indicted for being involved with an underage hooker, under Bush, right? Donald Trump was like, "Oh, I had no idea that guy was a creep. I cut ties with him, like a decade ago or 15 years ago, et cetera, et cetera." And then
it wasn't because he was a creep. That wasn't the reason he cut ties with him. He cut ties with him just because he was stealing his employees. He stole one, then he stole a second one. After that, he told him, "Yeah, don't come back."
The women that were in the Epstein files, the only time Trump is mentioned, they are saying, "I never saw Donald Trump do anything with Jeffrey Epstein." Right? Never. I think that one of the women said, I might be misremembering, but I think that they might have said that Bill Clinton got a massage, or actually, I think there's like a photo of Bill Clinton getting a massage.
Just a quick fact check: the Bill Clinton. I'm sorry, fuck, you got me talking about Bill Clinton. The Jeffrey Epstein saying that the audio recording where he's saying that Trump was his best friend, that was recorded in 2017.
Where is that? What's that from?
My source is ChatGPT. It was recorded by
Michael Wolff.
Anyway,
Michael Wolff.
I'm gonna finish my final point here, right? Because again,
right.
what I'm saying is the connection of friends with Jeffrey Epstein is evidence that you would have some incentive to destroy evidence, right? Would apply to Trump, like in your by your logic, but it would also apply to both Biden and Obama. The only difference is Biden and Obama didn't arrest Jeffrey Epstein, but Trump did. Biden and Obama didn't testify against.
If Ghislaine
Jeffrey
Maxwell gets released right now under Trump, would you agree that that's really bad and highly sus?
That would be absolutely horrible, and I've already made a public statement. I go, if she is going to roll over on everybody and give all of the evidence, at max, you should put her in a better facility, which she's already doing.
She already got
so
that.
I think that it's already happening. At maximum, you put her in a better facility and maybe take some time off her sentence, maybe. But no, you do not let a sex trafficking madam go as a trade-off. And if he does that, you can fucking screen record this because I am going to say it publicly. I will be so pissed off and I will say that this is absolute bullshit, right?
However, Trump still would not lose this guy's support. He would just say, hey, this is a bad stain. This is a bad look. This is a negative part of your reputation. However, everything else is good though. I still support you. How far are you willing to go with this guy? How many things does he need to do that you disagree with before you say, I can't rock with you anymore? There was one story about a guy that had his wife deported, and he still said he didn't regret his vote. So,
what a loser.
You don't release people that harm children just because they rolled over on other people who harmed children. That will be that would put a big stain on his reputation.
But if he pardons her, will you say you regret your vote?
I call balls and strikes even with Trump. I'm a super fan of Donald Trump, but
if Donald Trump released Ghislaine Maxwell, would you say that voting for Kamala would have been better than voting for Donald Trump?
Good question.
No,
of course.
Okay. It just wouldn't.
Of course,
I know.
Because I can't.
Of course,
I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be able to justify.
I'm done. How much longer?
I would say it's absolutely horrible.
It's all good. We know.
Watch this whole debate.
It's all good.
I'm going to watch this whole debate.
But no, I mean, I think that if Kamala Harris was president right now, I think that we would be fucked.
Mm-hmm.
I think that she would have let the tax.
Yeah, sure. Anyways, I'm done. After that part, I can't do anymore. That's all I got for now. Whatever your thoughts are, leave them in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like, and I will see you again on the next one. MAGA. Be easy, y'all.